Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, MCoC is a game with a lot of champions, and some of them just resonate more with than others. For us all, this is my favorite champions. I'm putting this out on Thanksgiving. It's my favorite American holiday because it's about just like being around people you enjoy, you love, you're grateful for. It's not about gifts or anything like that. And so I was like, yeah, for the first time, I believe in my channel's history. I may have done this years ago. I'm just going to put out my favorite champions to play in MCoC. It's not going to be the most OP or the most broken. I do like them too. It's about that, and I'm gonna tell you, like, what I like about them and why I have chosen them. I hope it entertains you, and I hope you learn a little bit from it maybe too, and you consider, taking a look at some of these champions. So, we're gonna start off in the Mystic class, and like I said, this isn't about, like, who the best is. I'm not picking, Nico Minoru. I have a whole list. I've thought about this a lot like I usually do. The ones that were, like, runner-ups, I was like, "Ooh, it's hard not to pick them," is America Chavez. A lot of you who watch my channel for years know about me. That's an America Chavez action figure right there on the stand behind me. Kushal, I mean, I got to be part of that design process. I was a fan of her her comics. I really love them. I think she's great. I love what she's excuse me, Spirit of Vengeance. But it's not her. It's not her, right? I mean, that's pretty wild for me to realize it was not her. I have to be part of the design process of a character in a game that I cover, which feels like about as amazing as it gets for someone. But it's not her, actually. I love the hood. I love the hood. I put a ton of sig stones into the hood, getting the power still going on the signature ability. He's so powerful, so great. But it's actually not him either. And some of you, I'm curious if you're going to be able to guess these before you've watched it. I do love White Tiger. It is not going to be her. She's incredibly powerful. She's great, but it's not her. And it honestly, if we got to use Wong more, if Wong was a bit more relevant in what we do on a day in, week out basis, it actually might be Wong. Wong is so outrageously fun to play. I missed me, or I don't mean to be saying it the way it is. Just go with it with me. Is like if you have a Wong, play with him. Play with him, rank him up. It's so much fun. Take him in to Necropolis. It just feels like that's where he's meant to be used. It is tremendously fun. And if we had more opportunities to use Wong like that, it would maybe be Wong. Okay. So those are all the ones that didn't make it. If you've been watching my channel a lot lately, you know it's Werewolf. I absolutely love playing this champion. Now, he's good enough, he's meta relevant enough where I get to play him a lot, right? You've been seeing my war videos where we talk about all the various things. I showcase my Upside Alliance, their fights, and we talk about where you can use a variety of champions. He feels like, to me, when Kabam like kind of feels like they want to be more of a card game about matchups and everything's like very, very finely tuned, he feels like about as powerful as a champion should be. He's perfectly in that first to second tier on the vast majority of my tier list. Incredible power gain, helps get around a lot of damage sources. You see me taking hazard shift fights with him, getting around a lot of threats of nodes and defenders, and does tremendous, tremendous damage with the ruptures too. You can apply the ruptures through the block, you can build them up, and then you work your way to the special too. He does not need to be awakened. It is really nice, it's helpful, but I did a whole rank 3 showcase on unawakened Werewolf by Night. And there's going to be a common theme. After I sat down and I listed all these out, I was like, wait a minute, there's a very common theme in a lot of these champions is that you play and you play and you play and you're kind of building to something. And then there's these large cash out moments. Werewolf is able to do that. He can get around safeguards, or even some of these like protection type mechanics that Kabam builds into their defenders. He can get around some of them, not all of them. He can get around some of them. He has incredibly long animations for his specials. It's something we've talked about with Shield, but I use it all the time with him to get around champions like Serpent and their immortality. I absolutely love him. Is he the most broken OP? No. Right? People ask me like, should I rank up Nico or should I rank Werewolf by Night? Because they see how excited I'm at Werewolf by Night. I'm like, look, if you're just asking for default who's better, it's Nico. She's more meta relevant and all of that. But as far as like being a great champion, you can have a ton of fun with him. I think he's solidly in either the second or first tier for the vast majority of the tier lists I put out ranking these champions. He is phenomenal. I absolutely love playing Werewolf by Night. We will now move on to the science class. And this one was also interesting. Like I said, I think these things through as I realized like I don't think I enjoy science. I don't think as a class I enjoy them as much. Maybe it's part of why I rank them the way I do. And I said, like, I get how powerful they are in game. Like, I understand that. But for the most part, they're not my style of class for whatever reason. I think they just don't have those big cash outs as much. I don't know. You tell me what you think on this one. The runners up for me, Cassie. Like I really am excited about Cassie coming as a 7 star. The two AI 2.0 post came out today. I covered that. Man, if Kabam hits that and they really get it great, and the issues with the AI are fixed, Cassie could potentially be one of my favorites on this. Like she kind of fits a little bit more, I think, of what I love in champions. Spot. I've already talked to you about like you do these things, you build up, and then you have these massive cash outs. I think if Spot was a bit more meta relevant, Spot would it'd be tough to pick between Spot and the other one here. The Overseer. I mean, I was covering the Overseer. I did that boss fight in 4 Loki. Talked to the designer, learned so much about Overseer. Such a phenomenally designed champion. Again, building up, right? He's getting his cosmic cubes or his I can't remember what he calls it. And then you ignite that. You can go to that special 3 if you want or not. And then he just demolishes things, big red damage. I love that about him. So that's really fun. Again, talking about the AI, if they can get all that fixed, I'm looking at my notes. I wrote way too small. If they can get all of that fixed, Titania. I loved playing Titania. Again, another champion. She had flexibility. You could play her a variety of ways, right? We could use her suppression to get to our special 3 first. We could prevent the opponents from getting to their specials as quickly. We could utilize her Haymaker, or you could just do the SP3 route, throw that, go in and just hammer stuff. So if she ever got fixed, if the AI ever got fixed and Titania was quote unquote back, I think Titania also would be very much in the strong running, not just an honorable mention for the number one I'd have trouble picking. And I know he's not available to a lot of people 7 stars. It's where I first started getting my like, wait a minute, this kind of sucks, right? I went and I got him. I love Red Guardian. I loved buff Red Guardian. I covered that buff. I was like, he's so much fun. I feel kind of like I'm playing the character that I've gotten to know from the MCU. He's fun. He's extremely powerful. He's silly a little bit. Like you intentionally, if you want to go faster, let the opponent do a heavy into you. You break your shield. You keep that up through your heavies. Your heavies are unstoppable if your shield is broken. Like his kit is very well put together. Like what he does exceptionally well. He has a refresh. I always misspeak on that. He has a refreshable slow off of his SP1. Slow is coming back in to style. His signature ability. I have put Signet Stones into my 7 star now. I think he's at like uh you really ideally want to go in these signature 40 levels. So I think I brought him up to 160 exactly, and he's critting so much more. The damage is phenomenal. He's amazing. And he also, like I said, was the first one that really tipped me off. And they're like, wait a minute, these champions that they're selling in the sales, like we don't even know when everyone else was going to get him. I'm not okay with that. Like I got him, and this didn't feel right. He was the first one that really started making me think like something's not sitting well with me here. And so you guys know the rest of the history. That being said, I hope Kabam puts him in the basic or the Titan very, very soon. I hope you can get him. If you have the 6 star version and 6 stars are still your meta and where you're at, I highly recommend you rank him up, you play him. He's incredibly fun and outrageously powerful in competitive modes like war, PvP, and also in story content. Is he the best science champion in the game? No. There's a very, again, common theme on all of these. Outside of 2 of them, I really don't think they're the best in their class. Moving on to the skill class, and again, like my sense on how much I enjoy them really fits. It just made a lot of sense to me. Is I love playing Massacre. I don't have the 7 star Massacre. Yes, it is pronounced Massacre. Look at how it's spelled. Look it up. It's in Spanish. His name is in Spanish. It's a word. Anyways, I always I got to the point where I can laugh about it. I love playing Shang-Chi too. I just don't think I don't know. He's not number one. Let's just leave it at that. And then when I think about champions, I just enjoy playing, just purely enjoy. That was about it. I enjoy Crossbones, but a lot of that's because how great he is. I enjoy Chill, but like it's a lot of it's because how great she is. As far as like pure enjoyment, if I was just looking to pick up a champion and play them in MCoC, they're probably not my first grabs. They really aren't where I would with Massacre and Shang. There's something about how much control I have over what they're doing and the setup of, again, big moments. Again, it's not like once I really thought about this for the first time ever, it was very clear to me. Now, if you've been watching my channel, which hopefully you have, you know that I've taken Lumitrix up to rank 4. I've been talking about how I was comfortable taking him to rank 4 when Kabam announced the idols will be coming to the basics. Lumitrix is about as complex of a champion as I can handle in MCoC. And I even had a war death against a high evolutionary mini boss on the hazard shift. It's a semi-complex fight, but it's soloable for sure. In fact, I've now soloed it, and the fight showing it will come out the day after this video goes live. But what I love about the complexity of Lumitrix is as you learn to use him, he provides so much capability and flexibility for a variety of fights, like including Hazard Shift. He does have 2 immunities, which is incredibly helpful. He has his passive tracking, which can turn off miss. Brennan showed that in the last Upside War showcase. You do not need him awakened at all. In fact, as I look through the awakened ability, because people ask me about it, I'm like, I'm not even totally sure I can completely explain to you what it does, mainly because I'm not on the CCP server. And so I can't go and test all of that. And I'm not going to put my 7-star 6 stones and awakening gems into a champion that right now I have not run into a scenario where I've once thought, wow, if only he was awakened, I could have taken this fight or it would have gone so much better. If and when I find out, of course, I will talk to you about that in a showcase or things like that. But as of right now, it's not happening. You can get to your SP1 if you when you are invisible, you go unblockable. You throw this massive special too. Again, massive cash out moments. But one of the things that's really cool about him, and one of the officers in Upside, a really talented player named Germ, talked to me about how to take the fight against High Evolutionary. Is I never even go to my special two. I never even go to the special two. Yeah, the fight takes a little bit longer, but it's significantly safer and able to be done. You can use his invisibility to play like a mixed master style against a champion like High Evolutionary, meaning like you can alternate, light, medium combos, medium, light, medium combos, and such. And then his heavy plays a role in too. Like his kit felt daunting when I first read it, but as I started to understand him, there's no waste at all in his kit. Like everything makes sense and has a role. It puts the power basically in the player's hands, and it's up to you to get better at the game and better with him in order to do a tremendous amount of fights. Like this is a phenomenal champion. I truly love playing him, and I he makes me want to get better at playing Lumitrix. Yeah, I don't want to slobber on Lumitrix too much, but I really love this champion. And this is the one time, well, there's one more, and we'll get to it, where like I don't think Lumitrix is the best skill champion. I don't think they're broken enough in any area, but they are in the conversation, I think, for it, as 7 stars are concerned. All right, Mutant was also very difficult. We're gonna start off with the honorable mentions. Professor X, I just don't use him that much at all anymore. But those of you who watched my channel are gonna know I loved playing him. I think you really feel like you're a superhero. You truly feel that's how I feel when I play Professor X. He's a phenomenal champion, very powerful too. Shuts down so many things. This isn't Professor X video, so we'll move on. Dazzler, I think they did another phenomenal job with Dazzler. I feel like I'm playing this character who's out there just having a great time dancing around, and then all of a sudden the opponent's just dead. Again, build up, massive cash out moment. Really fun. I think if I do this video in like 6 more months, this actually may be my choice, is Jean Grey. She is an absolute blast. I think the ability to throw your powers, or your specials, having them cost less power, also being able to throw your specials with less power. I think that was a really cool idea. Very cool that they like dove into that. I actually find her fun to fight. Like I to me, she's about as if I designed MCoC, which I obviously don't, she's as tough as a defender as we would get in the game. You can't take her without a counter. The best of my recollection, there's no unavoidable damage. You can skill your way around it if you can get used to her reverse controls. She's a little tanky, in my opinion, but again, like I said, if this was as good as Defenders got, I'm very okay with her tankiness. On the offensive side, though, I'm going to show you in the War video tomorrow, the War Showcase video, the Upside video, her taking Hazard Shift. That shield is outrageously powerful, especially if the health pool on fights is low enough like it is in War and Battlegrounds. And she's meta relevant. She's that is part of it with her, but I think I've had her long enough where for me, it's not just that she's powerful in a lot of the current meta ask. It's that I think she's actually a great champion. I think she's a lot of fun to play. I think she's incredibly well made. She doesn't feel broken. I've really struggled to identify what makes her to me feel different than Sinister and Onslaught, but I rate her, and we rate her in the same tiers as them. Where they feel broken, she does not to me. I don't know. It's a nebulous term anyway, but I think you get my point. And I think at least for now, It is Wolverine Weapon X. You guys know how much I love this champion. You are just a ball. You are just attacking, and you could go full berserk. You can do it, but if you run out of your charges, bad things will happen. However, there is nothing like going into a fight against Bullseye and you're just going nuts. You got to land your heavies. You got to land your specials. You don't care that Bullseye is evading you and throwing your specials. The better you get at the fight, the less damage you will take, and you come out with a very high health pool. I've shown that multiple times, but you can push these champions to special threes and you just heal it all back up. He's one of the few that does not have like the large single moment cash out that I still enjoy a tremendous amount. The bleeds are phenomenal. Again, as I'm talking, like, this was a pay champion. This was a pay champion. I hadn't even thought about that until literally right now. But he is one of my favorites. He is incredibly, incredibly fun. Like I said, though, I think in the coming months, it's gonna be Jean Grey, and I think some of that's gonna be is like there's just gonna be so many more places to use her, and I do think she is great. But today, November 2025, my favorite mutant is still Wolverine Weapon X. Now, moving on to tech, you guys know this is my favorite class. I absolutely love them. And there was a discussion on it on my stream and on my Discord server recently. And I don't know if they want it being public, so I'm not going to say who it was, but someone's because I was trying to put out like there doesn't feel like there's any like broken champions or OP. And like I said, those are pretty nebulous terms. And someone pointed, well, Future Ant-Man. I was like, yeah, but the thing with Future Ant-Man is Future Ant-Man doesn't hard counter the ass of the mutant class or the big bad mutant champions. He doesn't feel like he falls into the magic box, magic key scenario. He's just so strong at what he does, and the damage is really big. I actually kind of enjoy playing him. But what the person said was like mute or tech doesn't feel like it has any problematic champions, meaning they're so dominant and powerful that they've now created a problem. There are Kabam needs to come up with a new defender or something like that. It feels more natural. Like I've enjoyed the attacker cadence of tech and mutant for years now. I think it's been phenomenal. Where with mystic and cosmic, I haven't enjoyed it much. It feels more fabricated or forced or borderline coercive. What I don't enjoy it when it gets to that place. For tech, the runners up to Future Ant-Man, Guardian. Talk about a big cash out SB2. You guys know I love my boy Guardian. Okay, Hulkbuster. I've loved Hulkbuster since it was 6-star metas. I always wanted to push him up higher in Illuminati rankings, but I didn't have the CCP ability to just rank up any champion, so I never really did. That's on me. I wish I had pushed him up farther. It's cool to see what people are able to do with 7 stars. And then for those of you who are like, wait, what? The relevance of that is the 6-star combat power rate changed and elevated as you ranked to the champions. I think having the full combat power rate has allowed Hulkbuster to do the SB1s and SB2s and all of that significantly better. It has really opened up the kit because 6 stars, we didn't have them at the highest rank. We weren't able to experience that. Okay. And then Stark enhanced Spider-Man. He feels a little broken. He feels a little broken in some battlegrounds. So maybe take a little bit of what I said about the tech class with a grain of salt. But truly, truly my favorite. Definitely has cash outs in battlegrounds and health pool styles. I think a lot of people who think his damage aren't good, they don't have Bastion Awakened. We've talked about that since day one. He's very good on Awakened. He's very good. But for competitive modes, things where you want that cash out, things where you want that war fight over, you want that battlegrounds fight over, you want him awakened. Yes, it opens up all this stuff with the ability accuracy of the non-personal effects. I've talked about this in my Alliance showcase videos, right? We'll continue to show it because Bastion's one of my favorite champions to use. He is incredibly powerful. He is incredibly relevant. But as far as the damage is concerned, it is this personal fury potency based. It goes all the way from 10% to 30%. Remember, he gets 2 furies if you're able to play him as ideally as possible off of that special 2. You can see why that is a massive damage increase, even in scenarios where he's not getting his vulnerabilities up. That's why you're seeing me able to pull off some of the things I'm pulling off is I've got him awakened. And yes, I have put 6 stones into him. He is so much fun. He's incredibly powerful. He can shut down some evade. He doesn't do it as well against non-mutant champions, but you can still utilize it. Parries non-contact attacks, 100% resistant to poison and bleed. I really enjoy playing this champion. The way he looks might have something to do with it. Dude's just cool. Dude's just cool. So I don't know, but I can't separate that out. He is my favorite to play. And he is, in my opinion, possibly the best tech champion in the game. Like when we do the top 10s in December, there's a chance I have him at number one. Hard to unseat future Ant-Man, but Bastion might have a case for it, in my opinion, because of the way the meta has been developing. All right, and then let's take it the last class here in Cosmic. All right, all of these classes, yeah, pretty much all these classes were to varying degrees very difficult to pick. I've been being honest with you, and on this one, I'm gonna have a cop out. I couldn't pick just one, and when we say it, I think you'll understand. CGR. CGR is so outrageously fun. Again, big cash out moment, very flexible champion, but also feels rigid. Okay, like via nodes and defenders, can kind of shut him down or make the fights incredibly difficult. But so many people, like I was early on it, but Slayer of Gods, MSD took those rotations to outrageous levels. He can be played so many different ways. I love him. And then a big cash up moment. I am truly hoping he's who's coming in Banquet. I probably setting myself up for disappointment there. But if it's a Buff Thor or a Hulkling, there's only so disappointed I could be. We'll find out more as time goes on. Medusa, they truly embodied this like hacking, slashing champion. She is one of the smoothest champions to play, in my opinion, in the game. Animations and just sliding around with the auto block, you can play her more aggressively, going for those intercepts, get up to armor shatter. I truly love playing her as well too. Carolina Dean. I think in 3 or 4 months, if I can get her awakened and then take her to rank 4, she may become number 1. She's just so fun with the finger guns and all of that. Like such a cool concept too, and like moving around and following the sun to get your power going. Like she's just enjoyable to play and so outrageously. Like, I can't think of another champion that's even close to that. And also very, very powerful. You got to play her well, but incredibly powerful. But I don't have her there, so I can't say put her in my favorites. And as a result, we have a tie between two cosmic champions, both of them big, bad, mean dudes. And again, massive, massive cash outs. The first one is going to be none other than Cole Obsidian. You've seen me. I told you. It's like, look, Cole's the one you want. Cole's the one I want. If I can get him, if I can awaken him, I'm going to take him to Sig 200. I'm going to take him to rank 4. I literally did that. He's just destroying things, and it's so much damage, and it's incredibly, incredibly fun. Just bashing, hammering defenders down. And I love it. I absolutely love it. It's fun just to even think about it. And then the other big bad man, dude, that I just absolutely love in the cosmic class is none other than Gallon. Both Cole and both Gallon in the right scenarios feel just over OP and broken. But there's enough scenarios where they don't feel that way. You do have to play them relatively well. I will say Cole's probably the easiest to play champion on all of these. I think he just is so insanely powerful. It feels really fun. I log into a video game and I want to bash stuff, and it's fun. Where Gallon, again, his matchups of just fighting Penny Parker over and over, those are pretty much gone. They come up every once in a while, and I think that's a great time. But this is still a phenomenal, phenomenal champion, right? Immune to Fate Seal and Nullify effects. And he actually does power up with the course of the fight. He's just an absolute blast, man. I'm so glad I took him to rank 4. And so, yeah, I want to know who your favorites are. Like I said, doing this for me, I took it very seriously. I do. And I realized there's just a common theme in all of these champions, except for, I think, Cole, really, where they're building, they're building, they're building. You can play them a variety of ways. There's some flexibility to it. And then you build, and then you just delete the opponent. And so it's not a surprise to me to see that once I kind of recognized it. I think Cole's the only one where like you get up a couple armor breaks and then you just start deleting right away. The fights are very, very fast. But I love him. He's a blast. And maybe Carolina will take his place as I get her ranked up. And that would make sense because she does take a few more seconds to get going. And then you just delete with the finger guns. Let me know who your favorites are. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed it too, because now that I've done it, I'm like, I think I'd like to do this every 6 months or so. Because the game is supposed to be fun, and I got to tell you, I've been having a lot of fun lately. A lot more, anyway. Let me know yours. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.